Hello and welcome to a brand new season of Travel Stories with Moush. Before we kick off season 5, I just want to take a moment to thank each and every one of you. Your support has helped the podcast grow, win accolades, and climb the charts time and again. Please do continue to support and subscribe to the podcast because that is the only way we can continue doing what we are doing and bring you these incredible travel stories from around the globe. On this episode today, we are going to immerse ourselves in the world of ultra-luxury travel with none other than Ben Murtagh, who is the General Manager of Usturian Luxury Travel, which is a Forbes travel guide endorsed agency and one of just 2 in the Middle East and the Indian subcontinent. Usturian creates one-of-a-kind travel experiences like no one else can, and Ben joins us today to take us into this world of bespoke adventures on this episode of the podcast. Thank you so much for joining me on the episode today. Well, it's taken us a while to get here,
It has
isn't
indeed,
it?
but I'm very glad to be here and thanks for your patience in getting it happening.
Yeah, thank you so much, and I'm glad we made this happen. Now, let me begin by asking you what I'm curious to know is like at Usturian, you say you create experiences that no one else can. Now, how can you sort of make a claim like that because it is so crowded out there with luxury travel experts around? So how do you make that difference?
I think it's because we really listen to the client. You know, anybody can sell a hotel, anyone can book a restaurant, anyone can get you into the Vatican or to see the pyramids. But if you were to have one focus, if there was a specific directive, that there was a certain painting or a certain experience, everything we do, we listen to every detail and then tailor every aspect to it. If there's a favorite artist that you have and he used to go to a restaurant that he likes, we research and find those details so that every piece resonates together and that trip becomes very unique to you.
No, that's fantastic. And I'm sure we're going to delve more into the experiences that you offer at Usturian. But let's begin the very first question of the podcast to start off the episode. Where are you taking us on a journey today?
Today we are going on a journey to an island in the Caribbean called Turks and Caicos. I'd never been to the Caribbean, and I was just turned 18 years old, so I was given the opportunity to go on this trip, and I was like, yeah, for sure. And it blew my mind. It was my first kind of long-haul trip without my family. It was pre-recession, which shows my age, but also gave an idea of the fact that luxury was real luxury back then. There were no budgets in luxury hotels. Turks and Caicos is a really, really beautiful set of islands that are just off the coast of southern Florida. Crystal clear water. You know, I was walking along the beach and there were turtles swimming in the sea. There were dolphins jumping around. It was something out of a TV show that I'd never seen or experienced before. The service levels, this, you know, Caribbean hospitality is warm and it's personable, and you kind of feel that you get adopted by everyone, and they tell you off because I was very, very pale and I would be in the sun and they'd be like, no, you're going to burn, to, you know, eat your greens at the dinner table. You know, it was a really familial kind of service level and it was just amazing.
That's so nice.
It was really cool.
Yeah. So what about Turks and Caicos really stayed back in your mind? You know, was it the hospitality of the people, the surrounding, you know, the blue waters? What was it really that strikes to you now when you look back?
It was a combination, but something that always struck me that one of my original mentors had said to me is that when people go away, there's a level of escapism, whether or not it's a cultural escapism, an escape from life, but you go away and you take that moment and you breathe and you are just in that moment. And it was the first time I understood what that meant. So we were basically walking along at sunset to go to this beachfront dinner, and it just realised of where I am, so far from home, so far from where I grew up, how I grew up, and just this utter sense of peace. And I really then understood when my clients were talking about, I just want to get away from it all for a few days. In that moment, it stuck, and it's been something that's kind of stayed with me ever since because I get what people mean. So when you feel that, it's magical. You know,
it's magical, and to be there and to experience all that nature has to offer is, I'm sure, something that has stayed with you. And now when you design, trips like that for your clients, that's probably the first thing that first place that comes to your mind.
Always. And it's a shame it's so far from the UAE, because it's, the Maldives is in our backyard. And I mean, I love the Maldives. I've done nearly 20 islands now, and it's very popular. But Turks and Caicos, if I had to pick between them, I'd still go back to Turks, for sure.
Yeah, wish it was nearer, closer.
Yeah, although it's very accessible. You fly to Miami and then it's just a short hop down. But it's a
long
not
flight.
It's not a little hop like the Maldives is for us, for sure.
Okay, then Turks and Caicos is that one place that has stayed with you in your heart, and you went there when you were really, really young. Which brings me to my next question. Of course, now you are a luxury travel expert. You curate all these brilliant holidays for people, and you've traveled around the world. But, when you were growing up and to where you are today, which is that one place that comes to you or has had a deep impact in your life and has made you the person you are today?
Wow. Is it going to sound cheesy if I said Dubai?
No, it wouldn't sound cheesy at all.
I think it's quite a funny one, because obviously I live here, our business is based here, and I've been fortunate that I've had family here for many years. So it was a very easy destination, and a destination that I visited a huge amount, and service levels in Dubai have always been immaculate. It made me realise on that side that whilst Turks and Caicos maybe gave me the escapism, Dubai gave the structure of what luxury was and still is in terms of service, has to be combined with F&B, has to be combined with immaculate accommodations. And every single time I came back, as any of us know that live here and beyond, that it's always evolving and it's always changing. And I just loved the pace of that. There was always something different, You can go to many destinations and you go to the same restaurants, and it becomes great because you have that routine and structure. Whereas here, it was just a whirlwind of everything going on. Some people say there's no culture. There's so much culture.
There's a lot.
If you take time to move away from your hotel pool, and there's so many things to do for all ages. You can be as active or as lazy as you want. You can eat as well or as as basic as you want. And there's very few places in the world you can enjoy that as you can here.
No, this is pretty much a place that you can get everything here. You have your beaches, you have ultra luxury hotels, everything. So I'm glad you said Dubai, because not everyone picks Dubai to be that one place that has sort of defined you, you know?
And it really has, because it's quite funny in that we get comments, and I get comments even now when I travel. I was recently in Monaco for a global summit, and people were talking about me living here and how did I find it, because it was like living in Las Vegas. And it is and it isn't, you know. If you ask a resident of Las Vegas how often they're on the Strip, probably is not as much. How longer am I, walking around the Burj Khalifa in downtown with tourist times? Not so much, There's no difference, but it's the perception versus reality. I think that Dubai is, if someone gives it the time, even a stopover, such an incredible place to add to their bucket list.
No, absolutely.
Sure.
Couldn't agree more. Now, of course, this episode we're talking all about luxury and luxury travel. And like I said earlier, you curate these ultra luxurious experiences for people. Now, also the world of luxury travel has evolved and changed over
very much so.
Time and over the years. And there are various destinations that cater to people very differently. So in your opinion, which are these places do you think that offer, ultra seclusion and exclusivity that people really look out for, especially your clients who are into luxury travel?
I think it's really good actually using the words seclusion and exclusivity, because I think the definition of luxury is very wide-ranging and means a lot of things to a lot of people. That luxury might be a few days in an all-inclusive island in the Maldives where everything's taken care of. It might be going behind the scenes at the Louvre after hours and doing things. But more and more, and especially since COVID, exclusivity and seclusion has just flown. Whether or not it's couples wanting to escape, singles, solo travelers more than ever now wanting to get away, or even families wanting to reconnect and stuff like that. Private islands, off-market homes, villas within hotels give, a best of both. You get all the facilities, but your own privacy and things like that. And, off the beaten track islands, resorts, maybe more inaccessible, less, branded and larger properties and things like that, to really give people more authentic, unique, while still maintaining to that, whether it's privacy from people or it's more just having privacy that they don't have to leave the square footage of their premises.
Yeah. So are there any destinations that are popular in this category for you?
Yeah, for sure. Asia has a really great number of them. I laugh with that whole White Lotus effect at the moment with Thailand because what I think is great is that the White Lotus effect has taken place in the last two destinations, but Thailand has always had a great opportunity because it has so many different areas, so many different types of accommodation from the villa products and things, some of which are featured in White Lotus, I think. But if you go further afield, there's some really amazing islands. You've got off the coast of Cambodia, Song Sa, you have Bawah Reserve, these really incredible places that, you know, if you know, that kind of thing. They don't publicize hugely well, they're, you know, but they are exactly the same as going to the Maldives. They're these smaller islands where service is exceptional. The great thing I think that when you head east is that service becomes so authentic as well that, you know,
absolutely,
by the end of your stay, they're family and people that you keep in touch with. So to be able to go to these really remote places, yet still have your fineries and things like that, but you don't have to dress up for dinner and worry about what handbag you're going to take or what watch and whether you're not someone's going to swipe it off you and things like that. It's great.
So true. That is so true.
More and more you have to think about these things.
And you want that now. You know, you want that now. And I'm so glad you also said the Far East, because the Far East really deserves a huge shout out for their service.
Massively.
You know, it's just exceptional. It's I don't think any place in the world can compare. No. It just doesn't come... It comes close, but just not there yet.
I think there's a level of warmth and authenticity to it, you know, and I think that it really resonates. And combine that with the value, especially post-COVID, where flights are more expensive, hotel rooms are more expensive, everything is more expensive. But to pay more and receive less, which what happens more and more, especially in Europe, you know, where so many parts of Europe are seasonal, the rates can be extortionately high and the service doesn't quite hit. You operate within brand guidelines, but you have the opportunity to be authentic and, you know, and just
very well said.
Remembering what people like. You had 2 sugars in your coffee, or I have 1 sugar in my tea, and those things just, you know, oh wow, they're
just
looking at me.
Just brings a smile on your face, and that's what you want. I mean, that's very well said. I couldn't agree more. Now, you know, you obviously send people to so many different places. You yourself travel to so many different destinations. But tell me about that one destination you think that everyone must go to once in their lifetime.
It's easy. And I've just come back. It's Rome. I love Rome so much. And I laugh because anyone that's going to listen that's bumped into me in the last week would be like, oh, shush, Ben. But I've been to Rome quite a few times. Rome just has this personality of its depth of history is huge, which is visible in every corner. It's hustly, it's bustly, it's authentic, it's honest, but also it has luxury. It has incredible food and beverage. It has more culture than you could fill in staying for a week at a time. Yet it's also effortless in what you need to do. It's quite easy to navigate around. It's stress-free. It's really stress-free. But for me, it has something for everyone. If you say, I want to go shopping, it has great shops. If you want to go and you're a foodie and you want to do food tours, there's some really great places. The smaller the restaurant, the better. If you want ultimate luxury, the Bulgari, where I was really lucky to stay this time, ranked #1 hotel in the world, and rightfully so. It also has a spa that I could have spent 3 days in and not left it quite happily. So you can really make it whatever you want. So for me, it's definitely up there.
Love it. Rome is also one of my favorite cities in the world. It is so, and you know, every time you go, you just find something new to do.
Absolutely.
You know, it's just, and you know, it's just when you go there and you're in that popular square of the Spanish Steps and everything. I mean, you go there, it's touristy. But yet it is so, I mean, you're impressed every time you go there.
And what I find is that my brain gets carried away as I'm walking through squares, and I imagine what the Roman emperors used to feel like, and when they marched their elephants through and things like that. Like, my brain goes straight there. I have no idea what it actually looked like, but I could just vision it myself, and it's awe-inspiring in a way that you're that close to it. You know?
And I also like the fact that not much has changed over time. You know, it's still the same old city,
and they're still finding things as well.
Exactly. And it's nice because every time you go to a city, especially the likes of Dubai, things change. Oh, that has been built. Oh, that has come up. But when you go back to Rome, and it doesn't look dated. No. It is dated, but it doesn't look dated. It's just so beautiful.
And it's nice that you can I literally wandered. I woke up on the Sunday morning and I wandered, and I saw many of the main sites. I'd seen many of them before, but it was just so nice. I stopped off for coffee. You get chatting to people. Like it is just warmth, and Italian hospitality as well is so good. And they're feeders. That's the one thing. You have to go with a big stomach. It's exactly the same. Exactly the same. But it's definitely the top of my list for sure.
I can't stop smiling because I'm so glad you said Rome. It should be that one place that everyone must go once in their lifetime. Definitely. And yes, great wines as well.
Really good.
So, now let's talk a little bit about sustainability.
Yes.
That's the big word. Everyone's talking about sustainable travel. We must all be sustainable. But what does that really mean, right? I mean, it is a big word. What are we doing? Are we doing enough for the world we live in? I mean, one of my last episodes, we talked about space travel, and I don't understand why we're spending so much on space travel, when we are not really taking care of the world around us. So again, that's a whole different conversation altogether. But we're talking about luxury today. So let's stay on that topic. And I want to know from you, because you're the expert here, which is that one destination you think which is done a great and fabulous job for luxury sustainable travel? As a luxury sustainable destination, which one would you pick?
It would be Costa Rica or the Maldives. Costa Rica easily without thinking, because the moment you land, you're carbon negative. So carbon is the byword. I think sustainability is a bit of a trap. And the same with hotels, more and more you see larger use of less plastic in the hotels. I think the Maldives has done very well with it, although I still find it shocking that some of the most incredible hotels and some of the most prestigious hotels don't follow plastic, and it's a real shame when you walk on a beach and find an Evian bottle or and that is a real shame. But the use of Amman hotels do really well with their ceramic bottles with shampoo and things like that. Basics like that make a huge difference. They're not using laundry, like the stats of what daily hotel laundry use if you leave a towel on the floor. It is shocking. But then also, is it a little bit disrupted to say, does that not come into the part of not having to think about anything when you go away? Because you might be mindful of that in your everyday life. So if you don't necessarily think about what the extra towel you use, or you've used, is that a world-ending thing in that towel? I get that we all have to be more responsible, but what does that look like? It's an interesting topic for me. It is
a very interesting topic, and there are so many different layers to this. So unraveling that, and also the whole awareness, because people, when they travel, they're like, oh, but we're on holiday. But somewhere we need to be mindful.
Of course.
Travel, again, is going through so many changes, right? People are moving away from the very popular destinations to off the beaten path, for lack of a better word. But there are newer destinations that are coming to the foreground. So for this year, 2025, which destinations do you think are going to be the stars?
It's a really interesting one, because off the beaten track, again, is kind of people's perception, because people that travel a huge amount or have been looking for somewhere different for a long time, and then nowadays we have the viral effect. Sheikh Hamdan went to the Arctic Circle on a trip and posted about it on social media. And the property that he went to, I know the owner and the team very well, and you can't get in there now, and it's, which is a great effect, but that was a very off the beaten track place. So there's good and hard bits with it. But I think that, again, focusing on the Far East a little bit, Malaysia, it's got great value for money. There's some really great properties.
They've remained a stepsister to Thailand for a very long time.
Very long time. But they also have, if you look at Langkawi, you have some great luxury hotels, but you've also got the diversity of rainforest, nature. It's good for families. There's great restaurants. It's accessible specifically from Dubai now. I think that Africa is being more and more explored again, but moving away from South Africa and, say, Kenya, because they're so well known. But actually people are kind of diving into Botswana, Uganda, Namibia, and moving away from the everyday safari and wanting more focuses on conservation and things like that. In Europe, it's interesting because as price drives people out of Italy and France in high season, Croatia and Montenegro, Slovenia is a really, really underrated destination.
Yeah.
That, again, if I had a top 3 for my should visit places, Slovenia would be up there. It's got the beauty, the scenery, authenticity, some of the friendliest people on the planet, great food, and incredible value for money.
Yes.
Whether you
Yes.
are looking for top of top or more, it just
Yeah.
reflects well for everyone.
Yeah. So you're saying all these underrated destinations are going to be the stars for this
For
year.
sure.
So that's Slovenia. There's a lot of the African countries,
Yeah.
and of course Malaysia, which has
Yes.
always been sitting in the background and never got
It needs
enough
its day.
attention.
It needs its day,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah.
But Slovenia really is fabulous. I mean, I went there, and the big thing about Slovenia is people talk just about Lake Bled.
Yes.
But in and around Ljubljana,
Yeah.
there is just so much
So
in
much.
the offing. And you can just stay in Ljubljana and
that's
explore
it.
the rest.
It's
There's a
wanna do
lot
it
to
authentically.
do, and there's a lot
So
to
much
see.
to do.
It's beautiful.
And you can really make it what your own. And you can do Lake Bled, and it is, you have to do it.
Yeah.
It is stunningly beautiful. But, Ljubljana and the restaurants and the fact that, you can sit and be chatting and you're chatting with the owner. And it's general conversation.
Yeah.
They're not trying to tout you. They're not trying to upsell you.
Yeah.
They're genuinely open to finding out more about you
Yeah.
and almost shy.
True. Yeah. No, amazing. And we spoke a little bit about food right now, and many people's travels are
Yes.
sort of designed around food.
Yeah.
I travel for food,
Yeah.
like a lot of us do. So, in your opinion, which is the best place or destination for culinary travel in the world?
I think it gets broken down into 2 ways, because I think that if you look at authentic food and you look at the variations in regional, you would be hard pressed to not choose India, for example. For traveling from, one province to another, the differences are huge, probably second only to maybe visiting China. And that is a really good one if you want to delve into secret recipes or, the kind of variations and
Yeah.
things like that. If you're looking at more, diversity and things like that, some of the European cities, I mean, San Sebastian for years and years and years
Yeah.
has been a pocket. But even more further afield, Mexico City is incredible. If you are a luxury travel or non-luxury travel, you can go from Michelin-star restaurants to street food, and I probably would say the street food might pip the Michelin in some
Yeah.
of the places. But then also in South America as well, you have Sao Paulo, which is not particularly on everyone's list to be like, oh, foodie, it has many things. But actually, again, there's some great little places. So I think there are real gems in kind of every corner of the world. But depending on preference, they would probably be my top.
Okay. So you're saying Brazil,
Yeah.
Mexico, and India.
Let's go India for the cultural side, for sure.
Fabulous. Now, of course, you have spoken about these places, you've spoken about various experiences, but I just feel like you've kept something back, and I want to dig a little more, and I want to know about your hidden gem.
Okay. Where would be my hidden gem? So mine's quite a random one, and actually it's a place I think I've now visited 11 times. And it's not off the beaten track, but for me it is my de-stress and unwind.
Your
and
go-to?
It's my go-to. And
Okay.
it genuinely, in the best times and some bad times in my life, it's been my escape place. And it's Crete, Alunda specifically, and one specific hotel that I don't want to tell anyone the name of, because then I'll never be able to go again. But I joke. It's a place called Dios Cove.
Okay.
I was really fortunate to go on a trip many, many years ago, and I fell in love with it. And I fell in love with the staff that worked there, and many of them are still friends and very good friends of mine now. But there was such a sense of, it's a beautiful part of the world. I love Greek hospitality. But Dios for me is the most effortless place. Every time I walk in, and they have a very specific entranceway where as you arrive, you don't really see anything. And they have this glass door that opens, and you have this panoramic bay view of the cove. And it's still, I'm gobsmacked every time. Like, I've just got goosebumps thinking about it again.
Wow.
Like, for me, it genuinely is a magical place. It's a family-owned property, and the family are absolutely amazing as well. And for me, it is just my utter escape. It's
that's
brilliant.
beautiful. It's also a place that truly and deeply touches your heart,
Massively.
I'm sure. I can
And I
see
think
the
everyone
twinkle in
has
your
those.
eyes.
It really does.
Yeah.
I think everyone has them, but that would be mine. And I think it's funny because people might expect that it's like the most lavish suite or the most, incredible this. But for me, it was very much about the people and just being able to switch off,
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
Amazing. I love that hidden gem of yours.
Thank
and it's
you.
not too far from here.
No, it's not.
Easy to get to. So
just
I'm
about.
sorry, Ben, it's not going to be hidden anymore. So, that was a brilliant ride. We went to Turks and Caicos and we kind of landed in Greece now.
We did.
But what's coming up next as we come to the end of the podcast?
Yes.
What's in your bucket list? What's next in travel for you?
So, I have just come back off of a few little trips. My next trip will probably be a little weekend in the Maldives. And then who knows, my bucket list destination is Antarctica and Japan. But Antarctica for me, I really want to make that happen later this year for sure.
And is Antarctica on a cruise or?
No, I don't think so.
No.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of these really great camps, a place called White Desert that is really unique in its offering, and truly when we talk about there's no place on earth like it, there are various cruise lines that go to Antarctica, but you go to Antarctica and you get to observe penguins, you get to go ice hiking and things that bucket list things for anybody. So it may be a little bit aspirational, but it's definitely inspirational in it. So it's the one for me, I think.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
That sounds incredible. Well, thank you very much.
Thank
This was a
you.
great ride, very fascinating. I am so intrigued by a lot of these different hotels that he spoke about, especially the one in Crete that I'm going to look up now. Well, thank you so much for joining us on this episode of the podcast
Thank you for having
today.
me. It's been so much fun.
Thank you, and I wish you all the best, and I hope and I wish that you get to go to all the places that are on your bucket list.
Thank you.
Ben.
And we'll get you to Crete as well.
Oh, yes, for sure. I'm going to ring you for that for sure.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone for tuning in today. I hope our conversations have fueled your imagination and inspired you to travel the world in new and exciting ways. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And until the next time, safe travels and keep adventuring.